In this session, we'll finish the drawing of the gasket that we've been working on in the previous session. We'll start by selecting the fillet icon. We'll now right-click the mouse, which causes the pop-up menu to be displayed. Since we need to change the radius of the fillet, we'll select the radius option. And now we'll key in 0.75. And now we'll select the two intersecting lines where the fillet is to be placed. The next object that we'll create is a 0.25-inch radius fillet. We'll start by clicking on the fillet icon. Now we'll right-click and select the radius option. We'll now key in the new radius value of 0.25 and press the Enter key. And now we'll select the two intersecting lines where the fillet is to be placed. Our next step is to convert the lines and arcs which define the outline of the figure into a polyline. We start this process by selecting Modify and then Polyline from the pull-down menu. We'll now click on one of the objects. In response to the current prompt that is asking if we want to turn the selected object into a polyline, we'll accept the default response, which is yes, by pressing the Enter key. Now we'll click the right mouse button to display the pop-up menu shown here. Notice that the same commands are listed in the command window and can be entered using either the keyboard or the mouse. We'll use the mouse and select the Join option, which allows us to add other objects to the polyline. In order to select the other lines and arcs, we'll place a selection window around them. This is done by clicking the left mouse button and holding it down while dragging the cursor to the opposite corner of the window. We now click the left button once more to define the window. And now we'll right-click to accept the highlighted objects. We'll now right-click again and select the Enter option to end the polyline command. Our next step is to create another polyline that is offset a constant distance from our current polyline. We'll start this process by clicking on the Offset icon in the Modify toolbar. The offset distance is 0.5, which we'll key in now, followed by pressing the Enter key. We'll now select the polyline. Notice that all lines and arcs are highlighted. This is because they've been combined into a polyline. In response to the current prompt that asks us to identify the side of the offset, we'll make sure that the cursor is located inside the polyline and then click the left mouse button. We'll now right-click to end the offset command. Our next operation will reverse the process performed by the polyline command. We'll do this by first selecting the Explode command icon located on the Modify toolbar. We'll now left-click on the polyline that was created with the offset command. And now we'll right-click to end the selection process and cause the polyline to be broken up into the individual lines and arcs. The final object that we'll create is a fillet, so we'll now select the fillet icon. Since the current radius is set to 0.25, we'll right-click the mouse, which causes the pop-up menu to be displayed. We'll now select the radius option and key in 0.5. Now we'll select two intersecting lines where the fillet is to be placed. Our last step is to save the drawing.